Good morning, everybody. You're probably not going to hear me, it's quite windy. Mark and I found this park up here and we've been invaded by dog walkers this morning. It's a lovely spot to come walk your dog, so yeah, we woke up, well, it's dark when dogs started barking and making noise, but yeah, we've woke up to being surrounded by cars. It's quite a normal thing when you park in places like this. Anyway, we're up north for the next, we're up north this week, but the next 3 weeks we're on the road, Mark and I. Doing some work, so we're up here, Spalding at the minute, then we're going to Lincoln for a meet. That wind is windy. But yeah, we parked in this little parking area over here, next to the river. And some fields, nice spot. This is this week's job. It is a Mercedes Sprinter. We've already fitted solar panels, which I will show you now. That is 3 175 watt solar panels.
And it's only half past 8.
It's only half, is it really?
No, about 11 o'clock.
I'm gonna not have that bit in the video because that's made me look stupid. Half past 8 we left it. No, whatever. Stop messing up my video.
Sorry, right, I do apologise. I don't.
Ashley, I'll leave that in.
Who's Ashley?
This guy. Anyway, the corner of the van back here underneath the fixed bed will be all the blue stuff. We have 2 batteries, both of them 200 amp hours of lithium.
Yep.
A 3000 watt multi-plus, 2.
Yep.
We've got 2 Orions and an 150 MPPT, that's all going on here. We have the Lynx distributor and we have the Lynx Smart BMS, which is a very lovely piece of kit. That's what's in my van. Fair amount of money, but it's totally worth it in my opinion. It works really well in my van. So, we've also got a Serbo and a GX Touch 50 there, and a battery protect. Oh, we've got to find a place for the battery protect to go. First thing I'm doing now is I'm going to be using this Reflectix stuff to make a decent vapor barrier behind the ply. Do that first, and then we'll start finding a way of mounting this all in, spacing it all out so it all looks nice and neat and it's safe.
It's nice to have such a blank canvas to work with.
I know, yeah, really empty van, we like that. But first of all, we got biscuits from the customer, so we're going to enjoy this cup of tea, biscuits, we'll see you later. It's the other way around. Yeah, just
That's not the right way up.
Yeah, turn it around please. Yeah, so we've done a little vapor barrier just behind the board so that that's going to be all sealed in. Nice. What do you think? Got everything mounted now. Obviously got no wiring in place, got a bit of strap around the batteries. But yeah, this is going to be a fixed bed underneath here till here, and then there's going to be a wall here. So we've got the 3 kilowatt multi-plus 2, the Lynx Smart BMS bolted onto the Lynx distributor. We've got the 150 MPPT, the Serbo, a battery protect for the load. That battery protect is going to protect the load, so that'll be between the bus bar and the fuse box, which is going to go here. So this Lynx Smart BMS protects it initially, you know, the out for the battery, and then that battery protect will protect the load. We've got 2 30 amp Orions DC chargers, so that will hopefully charge these batteries at 60 amps when driving. We're going to put some fans behind each one, blowing air that's in the blowing air that is in the wheel arch box through into the back of the Orions, so it will blow those fins, keep those fins quite cool so that they'll work as efficiently as possible. 2 200 amp hour lithium batteries, so that's 400 amp hours of lithium, 525 watts of solar on the roof. We've got loads of things to do now. I'm going to do like switches and isolators and fuses and stuff now, just start getting bit by bit. wired up. Good morning, everybody. So, yeah, yesterday was quite a productive day. Yeah, it's going to be really good. Yeah, so once you've got all the blue boxes in place, it looks really nice and neat, and it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be good. Obviously, once you get the cabling involved, it becomes trickier to keep it nice and neat. We'll do our best. Most importantly, it's always safe what we do. I'm really looking forward to showing you what we're going to do with these two Orions. It's got two DC to DC chargers, the two 30 amp Orions, and we got maybe a unique idea for them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to showing you that. I've been up really early. I got up really early for some reason. Mark's just parked over here. I haven't seen any life out of his van yet. Let's go and see what another day holds for us. But yeah, we did pretty good. We had fitted 3 solar panels on the roof already. We've got 3 solar panels fixed to the roof. And we got all the Victron stuff and batteries in place. Also had to do a little bit of vapor barrier and fixing the board and the wheel arch boxing that the customer made. And then fitted all the Victron stuff on and wired up most of it, to be honest. The MPPT and the two Orions are wired up. The distributor, the batteries, the inverter. Got to do the ground. Got to run the cables from the starter battery to the Orions. Still got to do that. Also wired up the battery protect, ready for the fuse box. Yeah, there's still loads to do. When you get the servo, and then especially the smart BMS, it's got to plug into that smart BMS. So it's that will be challenging, trying to get that nice and neat. I need to go and buy some more P clips. I'm gonna go and see if I can find a TLC or somewhere to go and buy some cable management bits and pieces. But anyway, chat. Let's go. So, some of you will be saying, how do you keep your Orions cool so that they're efficient, Mark?
Just like this. Whack a couple of fans on the back, it's just a bit of airflow, it keeps it moving. Even though some of the airflow coming through is going to be warm, it still helps by the air moving through the back, through the fins, just dropping it by a few degrees and making them a bit more efficient.
So, I'm going to suggest to the customer that we put maybe a vent or two on top or the side of this, so that these fans can draw air through this wheel arch box, through the air that's in there, and just cool the fins on the back of the Orions, and that should make them more efficient.
Yeah, definitely, a little bit more efficient, and it all helps.
So these fans are going to be controlled by a Ruvi smart sensor, which we have in this box over here. That's what I use in my van, so that Ruvi smart sensor will tell the servo at what temperature to turn relay 1 or 2 on, which will turn those fans on. So what I've seen in the past is people use 16mm square cable for 2 Orions. It's just not man enough, they can't get enough power. So we've run 40mm square cable all the way from the starter battery to a bus bar behind here. And then from that bus bar you can then use 16mm cable for both of these Orions. Alright, we've still got all the cable management to do, make it nice and neat. But a lot of it is wired up now. We're going to call it a day now. Tomorrow what we're doing, we've got to do the mains side of things, Mark.
Yeah, mains hook up, bring that into the servo.
Oh yeah, we fitted
we've got to put the
we fitted the mains hook up there, didn't we?
Yep. We've got to put consumer unit in. And yeah, add a bit of tidy up.
Yeah, I want to sort all these cables out with some P clips and
the charge and discharge disconnect.
I'll build a box for the top of the work. I'll build a top for the wheel arch box. Fitted a fuse box on the end here, which will be underneath in a cupboard or something with an isolator switch. See if I can show you these solar panels. So we have found a random park up this evening. Over this bank, there's just fields and fields and fields of marshlands and things. It's like an aerial bombing test site. We're actually, other than that, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's random, and we've just decided to park up on this little bit of grass here. It's all completely bone dry, and it's really random. There are 0 signs here saying you can't be here. There's a sign over there that says that must leave access for that gate up there, but yeah, we might get bombed. Yeah, so we came from that way, and then we parked there for a minute, went for a little wander up there. There's a public footpath that goes along this bank. Real random. I love this lifestyle. I was telling Mark, it's just, you either just find somewhere on a map or you get recommended to go to somewhere and just, you know, the things you see. I love it, love it. Right, we are finished. End of day 4.
Day 4, yeah.
End of day 4. I haven't done much filming up until now since you last saw, so let's show you what we've done. So we did the hookup point, which is what Mark's putting the cap on here. As you can see, we've installed a bubble system. Obviously not finished yet. You right there, Mark?
Yeah,
you got it? We're halfway through installing the bubble system. The tank, which is there, is going to have to be fitted before we can continue that. We've also fitted a diesel heater and a diesel tank. And this is the heat exchanger. So the diesel heater warms the water in here during the winter, and this works really well in the summer with excess solar power or DC power. But the pièce de la résistance is this side. We've now got the mains all working, Mark. Do you want to explain what the mains does?
Yeah, so on the mains here we've got a got incomer from our socket outside, which comes through into this consuming unit here. And we have a 40 amp breaker, and we have a 40 amp breaker because this is actually capable of 32 amp switching. And it comes out of our 40 amp breaker into the AC input on the multi, and then it comes out of AC1 and it comes into the RCD, and then it goes through the B32 breaker, which then goes out to our ring main.
Can you explain, because we've just had this debate on Facebook, the burn rate, as you call it, of ply versus the heat from these?
Oh yeah,
because some people say you can't mount these things to ply.
Yeah, so the typical flashpoint burn rate of where ply would catch fire is about 150 degrees. You'll struggle even with the really hot Orions to get much more than sort of like 58, 59 degrees C out of them. So the flashpoint of the wood is almost 100 degrees different. So, you know, it's perfectly safe.
Okay. Right, let's move on then. What else we've got? We've got a main isolator here. We've printed out some labels, so you can see that's the main isolator switch. So if an emergency, you can switch that off, kill the power completely to, you know, in or out of these batteries. Should only need to touch that in an emergency, or if you're working on the system. We've got the Link Smart BMS. Do you want to explain what this does, Mark?
Yeah, Link Smart BMS. Well, it's a lovely bit of kit, this is. So, this obviously talks to the batteries via this the system here, but it has a power out for our Servo GX, which is constant power, which then also links through to pins 5 and 6. 5 comes in, 6 goes out, which is the exciter wire for the high cutoff for the allowed to discharge on the battery protect there. So should this decide that the batteries are too low, and you know we need or you need to conserve power, it'll turn the loads off, so the ACD allowed to discharge will turn off. Okay,
it's a very clever bit of kit. It's quite a bit of money, but I've got this one in my van, and it's yeah, it's definitely worth it, I think. This is a Lynx distributor. Most of you know that this is bus bars and fuses, so there's 4 mega fuses in there, and you can connect everything up to that. We have an isolator here, which is the solar isolator, solar cutoff, so you can switch off the power coming down from the panels if you need to work on the system. This the 50 amp MPPT charger. Then we've got the servo, the brains, how you can control and monitor from your phone or on the touch screen here. And as Mark mentioned earlier, this is a battery protect. On the wheel arch box here, we've got 2 30 amp Orions. Behind it, you're not going to be able to see it, but there are 10 centimeter fans behind. 10 centimeters fans, aren't they?
12, 120, yeah, 120.
Oh, 12,
yeah.
120 millimeter,
Yeah.
12 centimeter fans behind these, blowing into the fins at the back. You might be able to see a hole down there, probably not. So these fans are operated and controlled by the servo, the relay on the servo. the Ruvi here, the smart sensor here, that tells the servo at what temperature to open up the relay and turn these fans on. So we've got them set to come on at 20 degrees and go off at 19. So if it's ever more than 20 degrees here, both of these fans are going to be cooling the back of these Orions, making them much more efficient. Regarding the batteries, we've got two 200 amp hours, so 400 amp hours of lithium. It's a very good system. This customer wants to do a lot of electric cooking, doesn't really want to do gas, which is what everyone's switching to now, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be the way. It's a bit of a trend, isn't it?
So yes, we're very happy with it. Let's hope the customer is. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. We'll see you again.
See you soon.